Hi, I'm Andrea with Sapphire Training, and today we are going to do a yoga sequence geared to help you if you have tight hips. So let's come down to our yoga mats. So we're actually going to start in child's pose. So your toes are going to be together, your knees are out wide, and we're going to sit back. And we're going to breathe here. So we're working on loosening up the hips. Now, if your hips are not coming all the way down, that's totally fine. You're going to come to wherever is comfortable for you. Depending on what time of the day it is also going to make a difference into how low you can go. So taking another inhale here. Exhale, you're going to come out, you're going to kind of snake down as you let that belly sink, gaze is up. Turn those knees forwards. Exhale, push back to a cat back, and then back to your child's pose. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, snaking it back up. And taking it back. So we're going to go ahead and flow through that at your own breath. Warming up that spine, warming up those hips. Taking one more. And then meeting down in child's pose. Taking a couple breaths here. And then go ahead and push up onto all fours. Come to a comfortable seated position. You're going to take your soles of your feet together. Knees are going to be out wide. And we're sitting up nice and tall. So we are going to open up your feet like they're a book if you can. So that kind of just works on your feet. And then we're going to sit up tall and we're going to hinge forwards at the hips. Nice tall spine. Shoulders are down. And breathing here. If your hips are really tight and your knees don't quite go all the way down, you can always put pillows or anything underneath your knees to make it a little more comfortable for you. The main thing is keeping that spine nice and tall rather than rounding. We don't want to round, we want to create that space. Nice, one more breath. And then releasing here. You're going to go ahead and take that left leg out long, place your right foot over the top, and we're going to go into a little twist here. So you're going to either stay here, or you're going to put a bend into that lower leg, and you're going to place that left foot by your right glute. Ground down so both glutes are sitting on the floor. If this is not accessible to you, keep that left leg straight, totally fine. You're going to sit up nice and tall, take your left hand on the outside of that right knee. It's like a tongue twister here. Take that right hand behind, sitting up tall, and we're going to twist. So you can stay here, or you can place that arm here. Again, making sure those sits bones are sitting down, sitting up nice and tall. Twist from the torso, not cranking from the arm. Shoulders are down, and we're breathing here. You should feel a nice little stretch in those hips. Taking another breath. Think length. Exhale, think a deeper twist. Your gaze can be behind the shoulders or slightly in front. And then exhale, let's release that. Legs are long. Shake those legs out. Good, and keep that right leg out in front. Take that left leg over the top. Stay here, or put a bend into it. Finding that balance, grounding down through both sits bones. Take that right arm outside of the left knee. Sitting up nice and tall, left hand back. And twisting here. Again, the key thing is keeping that tall spine. Shoulders are relaxed, settling into the breath. Good, and then releasing that, untwist, legs go straight, shaking those legs out. And then go ahead and swing those knees through, coming to all fours. From here, we're going to take that right leg, you're going to place it up into a runner's lunge position, staying on that back knee. You might just stay here, trying to keep your hips even. Or if you want to take it a little deeper, you can go down to those forearms. If you go down to the forearms, it's okay if you roll slightly out to the outside of that foot. The back toes can be curled. That helps with the balance. And we're breathing. Again, depending on the time of the day, you might be able to go a little deeper. So if you do this in the morning or evening, you might notice a difference in your body. That's why yoga is called a practice, because you just are always practicing. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. And then exhale, coming back up. Taking that leg back. And we're going to switch sides, taking that left leg forwards, putting a bend into that right knee. Toes can be curled. Nice tall spine. And then you can come down to those forearms. Rolling out to the outside of the foot is totally acceptable. And breathing into it. Trying to make sure you're not holding your breath. Sometimes we hold our breath when the poses get a little more challenging. So you want to make sure that you're breathing to keep that air moving. Staying present with your body and with your mind, making sure you're not wandering all over. And then exhale, pushing it back to all fours. Curling those toes under, pushing it back, down dog. Shaking those hips side to side, wiggling those feet. Looking through your hands, walking your feet up, forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold, and then rising to stand. Releasing the arms to the sides. All right, next one we're gonna go into is a little balance. This is called dancer's pose. So you're gonna put a little bend into your right foot, your right knee, not your foot. You're gonna place all your weight in your left. Place your right arm out. Grab the inside arch of your right foot. Left arm to the sky. This might be your pose. If you wanna try to take it deeper, follow your drishti or your gaze, your focal point. As I'm bending forwards, I'm kicking back as hard as I can into my right hand. So if I let go of this foot, my foot should fly. At the same time, I'm keeping this knee tucked in close to my standing leg. I'm not grasping my toes on my left foot. I'm engaged through my left glute. One more breath. Rising back up and releasing down. Shaking that leg out. We're gonna do the same thing other side. So straightening out that right leg, left knee bent, left arm out to the side, grabbing that inside arch, right arm to the sky, kicking it back into the hands, bowing forwards, and focusing on that drishti. So you should also be feeling a chest opening as well across that left chest, left side of the chest. Taking one more breath here. And rising back up and releasing. Shaking it out. Go ahead, step to the back of your mat, arms overhead, forward fold it down, halfway lift, forward fold, walk those hands out to a high plank, push it back down dog, and we're gonna come into pigeon. So bring that right leg up to the sky, place that right knee behind the right wrist, and bring it across, uncurl the back toes, and you might stay here. Or if you want, coming down to a sleeping pigeon. So you're trying to keep this leg as forwards as you can on your mat. If that is not accessible to you, you're gonna come down to your glutes. You're gonna come down to your glutes, sitting up nice and tall, putting a bend into it. The more that you bring your left foot in, the more you should feel it on that outer hip. I'm gonna hold this one on this in this position. I call it the 4-leaf clover position. Since I'm already here, and we're just gonna hold about a minute on each side. So these are the yin. This is getting into that juicy part of it. We are really letting those muscles go. Taking one more breath here. And then exhale, release. And then everyone can go to a down dog. Shaking those hips out. And take that left leg up to the sky, bring that left foot across. Uncurl those toes, or take your other side if you are in the seated position. Taking it to a sleeping pigeon if you want. And we're gonna be here about a minute. Focusing on the breath, opening up those hips. Releasing any tightness, any tension that you might feel. Tune into your body. What does it need? Then go ahead and rise back up. And everyone go back to a down dog, no matter which position you were in. And then go ahead and come down to your knees, or to your bottom. All right, so we're gonna do fire log pose next. So if you've never done this before, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right leg, we'll go on the bottom first, and you're gonna put your foot flat and flexed, take your left, and you're gonna place it on top. Again, if this isn't, if your knee is popped way in the air, that's totally fine. If that's not quite something you can do right now, just placing them where your feet allow or your hips allow. So you're gonna stay here in this pose, and again, we're getting into that fascia. The longer we hold it, the more intense the pose feels. And we will switch sides after we do this for about a minute. We're gonna hang out here and feeling it and just listening. So I'm gonna let you tune into your own body for the next 30 seconds. See how you feel. Good, and then coming back to that exhale, releasing that pose. Take your left leg now on the bottom and take your right leg on top. Again, keeping those feet flexed. We're gonna be here another minute, and you might find one side is a lot easier than the other. Totally normal. Trying to get that foot as close to that knee as you can. And this one, it feels a little different on this side. This is my tighter hip, I can feel. So I like to say, it hurts so good. And you can sing if you want. I'll sing. Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes something, da 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 da. You can sing along if you know it. Because again, yoga is not too serious. We like to have fun. We like to smile. Because if it wasn't fun, we probably wouldn't be doing it. It's all about finding that lifestyle, that fitness lifestyle that works for you. So taking a couple more breaths here, and we are going to finish in a Shavasana next. So go ahead and release here. And we are going to come to a Shavasana because I do like to feel the juiciness of Shavasana after a workout. So go ahead and lie down. Palms up to the sky, let those feet fall apart. We're gonna be here a couple minutes. I'm gonna ring a bell when it's time for us to awaken. And I'm gonna leave you in silence for 2 minutes, so taking a nice deep breath in, and open mouth exhale. Doing that one more time, nice deep breath in, to an open mouth exhale. And what that sound means, it's time for us to start awakening the body by rolling those wrists and ankles around, wiggling the fingers and toes, pulling those knees into the chest, rolling over to that left side, extending the left arm over as we take a breath here, settling back into our body. Eyes can be closed. Using that right arm to push into that right arm, coming up to a comfortable seated position. Taking those arms up overhead, eyes can be shut or open, palms together, stopping at the third eye or that intuition spot. Trusting your thoughts, coming down to the lips, listening more than we speak, and coming down to heart center, following your heart's desire. Namaste.